what's going on, everybody? It's Andy Blanks again with another teacher prep video. This video is for lesson 2 of our Bible study, Jesus and Your Influence, which is of course part of our larger Bible study curriculum, the Jesus Studies. I hope your lesson 1 went very well. I hope you laid a good foundation for this discussion on influence. I think you'll find this lesson to be convicting in a really positive sort of way. I think we're really going to help your students sort of put a lens up to their life and really examine their actions and their thoughts and how that really reflects the faith they have, the love they have for Christ. And so it's going to be a good time. Let's jump right into the passage and our sort of discussion of that. We're going to be looking at Jesus teaching about the Pharisees out of Matthew 23. And this is a really, it's kind of a heartbreaking passage if we can see past our sort of inclination to really beat up on the Pharisees. I don't know about you, but I see the flaws of the Pharisees in myself. That's what it looks like when we pursue God according to our own measure, and not really sort of in the freedom and grace of Christ. And so Jesus says these sort of heartbreaking words if you think about it. Jesus says to the people, hey, the Pharisees are seated on the seat of Moses. They're your spiritual leaders, and you have to do what they say. But this is the heartbreaking part. He says, but don't do what they do. And he goes on to talk about how their faith, their actions really doesn't match up with their professed faith. And really what Jesus is saying is that the influence that the Pharisees had was destroyed because their actions didn't match up with their professed faith, their professed sort of God-centered worldview. Because again, they were teachers of the law. And so they had all this knowledge, right? But they sort of twisted it and certainly didn't live it out. Jesus says, they became a burden to the people around them. And again, we know they heaped the ceremonial laws on people. And so instead of being a positive source of influence, they became a negative source, all because the things they did didn't match the things that they said. What a powerful message for your students. We gotta be careful. We don't want to really hammer your kids about legalism or being perfect or anything like that. But what we want to do is we kind of want to make the jump and really drive this point home to them that says, you have influence. God has given you influence, and hopefully you're thinking about that influence in the terms of drawing people to God. But if our actions consistently don't line up with our faith, then that influence loses its punch. Sort of the foundation crumbles under that influence. And notice I said consistently. Listen, we're not asking your students to be perfect. You're not perfect, I'm not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. It's our sin nature. But when we live a lifestyle, a habit of sin, when we live a lifestyle or pattern of sin, that erodes our influence. And that's what we just want your students to be aware of. It's just kind of a challenge for them to begin to think about their behaviors and their actions and just look for those trouble spots that don't match up with what they profess, that don't reflect Christ in their hearts and the transformation that's occurred because Christ is in their lives. So I think it's a good lesson. I think it's a really powerful lesson for your students and something that I really think will go with them after your meeting time. I think it'll kind of really drive home, and I hope they'll be aware of any areas in their life where they may need to sort of step back and readdress things. So anyway, I hope you have a great lesson. If you need anything, give us a call, live chat us, email us. We're here for you, and we're praying for you. Hope your lesson goes great. I'll see you on the next Teacher Prep video.